What do you believe is the highest potential of music?
Music has the ability, when is conceived from a pure heart. So basically, when is the product of connection of our heart with Source, which is still ourself, from a broader point of appreciation. So when music is conceived with no agenda, with the ego, and is pure, it has the ability, it definitely has the ability to dissipate the illusion of separation. At this point of our journey as humans, music is still a big mystery. It's a wonderful mystery, because at the origin of music there is our origin. Because I believe and I feel, my heart tells me that music is our origin. We all come from music, from sound. So when we find a deep, profound connection with music, with sound, we find a deep connection with life, with existence, with everything that exists. And so music has the ability to bring into a unity field everything. Because we are music. The entire existence is a symphony. It's a grandiose symphony of incredible sounds. And by choosing this very dense physical experience, this 3D physical experience, we enter a voyage of great fragmentation and great dissociation from life. It's a great deal of separation. And so by doing that, by accepting this most wonderful trip, which is our journey into this physical realm, we, in a way, we lose contact with music. We lose contact with life. Therefore, we lose contact with music. And the note that is residing within ourselves, we all have a unique note, sound. This note, when we enter into this physical form, it gets, because the tremendous amount of dissociation and separation, it gets out of tune. And so it's part of our journey to, by communing more and more with life and with music, we can tune back our musical note, internal musical note, so that we are back in resonance with the symphony of life. So to answer your question, in my perception, music is the most powerful energy we have access to in this journey. When, of course, when music is organic. which means it's conceived with not hidden agendas. There is not an ego that needs validation, there is not an ego that needs rewards or attention or whatever expectation is there. The composer or the music creator needs to position himself in a situation of innocence. Only in that case music has that power. Otherwise still has some power, but it doesn't go really deep. It doesn't really go to the maximum exponential ability. We still do not know a lot. We have forgotten, or we have been somehow induced to forget the power of real music. I suspect that once we will unfold fully, unleash fully the power of sounds and music, the entire matrix will collapse completely, and there will be no form of disease, no form of aging, no form of neediness whatsoever, no fear, because the music will dissipate that instantly.
Do you believe other kind of music like rock, jazz, pop are supportive in the remembrance of who we are?
Yeah, I think all type of music are wonderful. I suspect that as we proceed into the journey, there will be not this compartmentalization of music will fade out. But at this moment, jazz, new age, rock, pop, world, Latin music, they are all beautiful ways to express music. The problem is that these genres are too much involved with the music industry, too much involved with preconceived idea of what music is, and so music a little bit is limited. It's a little bit congested in a shape and form. So it cannot really be free and allow itself to, because there is rules and regulations that all this general music obey to, and all the rules and regulations is to drop if we want to get to a fully organic experience. So there's no need for a music to have specific shape and forms. Right now we need to obey to certain law, we need the music to be in a certain length, a certain format, because again there is a production agenda behind that wants to achieve certain results, like success, mundane mainstream success, or like accumulation of money. And so music in that case, when the more these ingredients are part of the production of music, the more music becomes deceiving. It gives you this, it might provide you some experience, but the experience remain in the mental world, in the mental realm. And even when it gets to emotions, sometimes it is an emotion that is artificially fabricated, it's not really organic. So in order to do that, eventually we will continue using the wonderful elements of these genres, but I suspect that little by little it will set loose completely, and then we will be in a completely organic situation that will powerfully surprise us.
And what is the intent behind the music you create?
My intent is to be able to manifest, crystallize a vision of organic music, of an organic musical experience in terms of live concerts, which means music that has been conceived in a pure form, and in all the many phases of production, an innocent approach and a pure open heart female approach is maintained in order that when it gets to the audience, it arrives completely uncontaminated.
So can you tell me again why it is so important that the music releases emotions?
Well, emotions can be released in many ways. Music is just happened to be in my personal experience the most effective, and it doesn't require time. It's instant. When the sounds and the melodies start, they create immediately an emotional release. Now, of course, the collaboration of the single individual is necessary, so if the person is open to such a release, the release will happen. If he's not open, it's going to be a little bit more less effective, because he will hold, eventually probably will do something to distract himself from this incredible wave of energy that is going to embrace him. And if he doesn't leave, it will break through his resistance. So he will have to remove himself from the experience at a certain point, if the experience is really well orchestrated. At this point, I have produced the melodies, and at this point of the process is a time of communion with the musician and other supportive elements for these concerts to happen, and creating a platform or a spaciousness where we can start to, in musical terms, arrange the music, but in reality is to create a journey, a musical journey, a 2 hours of musical journey, where 75% is female energy and 25% male energy. And so the male energy will be present by engagement of people that are more specialized in science, and they will somehow fine-tune the music in order to bring the frequencies to what they believe from for their scientific approach is most effective. And of course 75% female, because in my perception music is female for the most. And that is all about creating an emotional release. This is what I believe is the role of music at this time of the journey, to create a trigger for an emotional release, because we have a quite immense kind of energy, emotional energy that is stuck within ourselves, with our cellular structure, with our DNA, with our with our body, and it needs to be released if we want to proceed successfully to this journey, and if we want to reach a state of full remembering, full awakening, which is right now mandatory. This is the direction where humanity is going. It needs to deal with this emotion first, and there is, I don't think there is anything better than sounds and music for that to happen. And so this is my purpose. One of my general purpose, my of course individual purpose, is the one to become like you, like everybody, to expand my inner consciousness, my inner remembering. But in a collective scenario, is to create beauty and create music with the purpose of supporting an emotional release. Music needs to be listened live in order to achieve its maximum potentiality. Particularly at this time of our situation, most of us listen music through MP3s, which is really an incredibly compressed file from which music doesn't really have a chance to arrive to the core of our essence. Music needs to breathe and needs to be free in the environment. That's why it's important to have live musician and instruments, live instruments, to achieve the wonderful result that music can create. Thousands of people around the music with the predisposition to open themselves and allow the unknown to take place, surrendering themselves to whatever needs to take place, and then the music will do its job. It will take, in my case, it will take you to a whole rainbow of emotions. It will be a journey which basically mirror the journey of our physical experience. So that we will be experiencing all kinds of emotions. And also very important that the musicians has the same predisposition to be completely open themselves to the unknown. So once the music is the musical script is created, then we will allow whatever needs to happen. We will have the script will be a guidelines. So we will have the melody is the guidelines, but then from there we go and we see what happens. So it's an awakening where will occur both from the audience, from the listener, and the musician. And at the end, there will be no distinction. We will be all one 0-point field, one unity field. I see like constantly feeding the earth and humanity in different locations in the planet with this kind of concerts, and And then as we unfold the many mysteries of music and we start to understand have an even deeper understanding of how we can control music in a way to achieve specific results, then we can enter a situation where we start to do music for specific form of healing. We will start to create music for healing cancer, music for healing whatever disease we have, or whatever situation that is very challenging. And eventually music will be played in schools, in hospitals. They will be played among politicians. The politicians, before they start to communicate for their work, will feed themselves with music that will lift them up, and so they will have the right predisposition as politicians, which is the one to serve and help humanity and Mother Earth for this time period. Eventually there will be no more politicians because we will not have any more system and government, but for the time being that seems to be also the rule of music. It will reach also this very dense situation like politics, religion, corporations and banks, and the music will be able to soften up and allow them to remember what they really are and what they are here for. That's what music can do. So it's all about become naked, completely vulnerable, open, and allow the music to do its work.